The Duke of Cambridge has heard the harrowing stories of survivors of the Japanese tsunami during his visit to communities hit by the disaster. As part of his week-long visit to Japan and China, Prince William visited the northeast coast where thousands were killed when the waves struck in 2011. In the city of Ishinomaki, he met Hiroyuki Takuchi, a retired journalist at the Ishinomaki daily newspaper. The paper produced handwritten editions in the days following the tsunami. The Duke told him that, like 9/11, everyone remembered where they were when they saw the images of the tsunami. It remains with you forever. You remember where you were. It must have been unbelievably terrifying for you and all the others, he said. Mr. Takuchi said, immediately afterwards it was like hell. So many died and their bodies were on the roads. It is still raw in my memory. The massive tsunami was triggered by a 9.0 magnitude earthquake which hit Japan on March 11, 2011. It killed almost 19,000 people and triggered a major nuclear accident. In Ishinomaki, which lies 220 miles 350 kilometers northeast of Tokyo, some 3,000 people died and more than 40,000 buildings were destroyed. Prince William heard how the earthquake pulled the Japanese mainland 1946 m into the Pacific Ocean, causing Ishinomaki to sink by 70 centimeters. He met Mr. Takuchi in a small museum founded to chronicle the disaster. The museum features original editions of the single poster-sized newspaper pages written in red, black and blue felt tip, complete with a hand-drawn masthead. Lucky escape, Mr. Takuchi said. The tsunami hit our newspaper as well. But we found printing paper that miraculously stayed dry and we hand-wrote the news. There were just 6 copies every day. We put them on bulletin boards at evacuation centers. William asked, "Where were you when it happened?" Mr. Takuchi said, "I was in the newspaper. There was such a big tremor that I thought it would collapse, although it didn't. We felt that as long as we had pen and paper we could send out news, and that this was our duty as a newspaper. Luckily, among our staff no one died." He showed William one of the editions of the handwritten paper from 5 days after the disaster, when people in Ishinomaki had no electricity and were largely isolated from the outside world. The prince also met people who lost relatives in the disaster, including couple Shinichi and Ryoko Endo, who lost their 3 children, Anna, Kanai and Kanta, all of them under 12. The visit was the Duke of Cambridge's final engagement in Japan, before he flew into China, becoming the first senior British royal on an official visit there in 30 years.